Welcome back. We're outside the studios here at 120 College Southeast in Grand Rapids to talk to Randy Rand with Jungle Survival Driving School here. Everybody's going to be heading out to spring break at some point, and chances are there's some parents who are going to let their kids get on the roads behind the wheel with a group of friends in them as they head down to, say, Gulf Shores or to someplace in Florida, Galveston maybe, or maybe they're just going to head somewhere a little bit further south than they normally would go here. Randy, what's your advice on helping keep those kids and those families safe?
It would depend on how long they've been driving on their permit, because that's the big thing. They haven't developed a critical eye. They haven't been driving very long on that thing, and you're going to load up a bunch of people into a car with a number of distractions that exist in the car at that time. I don't think it's advisable to do. I really don't. Everyone's excited about getting that experience, but do it in a slow way where the kids are building up to that. Don't just load a bunch of people in the car. I know there's kids that get their permit and they're going on spring break. They've told me. And they're going to go drive down to Florida with their whole family.
Yeah.
It's not the time to do it. It's just not. So don't do it. I'm telling you.
Okay. Just kind of solid advice there.
Yeah.
But I mean, what about those families that are going to let their kid drive?
Well, if you are, limit the length of time. Just don't. There was an accident last year from Louisiana. They were going to Orlando, and they were doing 2-hour shifts. And it was 11 o'clock at night, and a young man fell asleep and killed almost his whole family when he flipped over into the median. So you just limit it, really watch them in lighter traffic. Don't do it when there's bumper-to-bumper traffic and they're flying down the highway, because you might fall asleep. Well, I don't know. Maybe you wouldn't fall asleep if they're a brand new driver, but if you fall asleep, then you're in trouble.
Yeah, absolutely. It doesn't work very well falling asleep behind the wheel here.
Right.
Last week on Daybreak, we were talking about 60%, there's a new study out that says 60% of all accidents for teen drivers are caused by distracted driving. What do you have to say about that?
That study was a great study, but it didn't really talk about the internal distractions that go on in the brain. That's the number one cause. Cell phones are about 14%. Everyone's talking about cell phones. They're dangerous. But it's what's going on up here. And a lot of times you're there physically but not mentally behind the wheel of the car. And, 2/3 of those accidents are usually males, teenage males driving those cars.
Why is that?
I think guys look at cars a little different. A car's a toy to a guy. It really is. And to girls, it's a pajama party. It really is when you think about it. Girls are out there, it's all like, hey, yeah, we're having fun, we're not up in our home. But the guys are out there showing up. They want to do drifting. They want to do all these scary things in the car. Heck, I did when I was a teenager.
Yeah.
It's just not, it's that maturity level and that lack of frontal lobe development in the brain is what it is.
Oh, yeah, I remember jumping railroad tracks in a Caprice Classic station wagon. Yeah, now I look back on it and think what an idiot I was at the time. All right, so any other suggestions for parents that maybe get their kids behind the wheel here, or the kids maybe out driving around during spring break here?
I think what they've got to do is make sure they're wearing their seatbelts, stay off their cell phones, limit the number of people in the car, make sure that the kids have a sound foundation, the fundamentals of how to drive, not just drive a car, but how to survive in a car, because that's the big thing. Everyone can learn how to drive a car, but surviving behind the wheel and anticipating the mistakes all the other animals on the road make is the key.
One thing you've always said is glove it.
Yeah, that's been hard. We kicked that off a while ago, and I had a really hard time getting people to turn off that cell phone, put it in the glove compartment, out of sight, out of mind, and then when you have that accident, that phone's where you know where it is and you can get to that phone. It's just that you're changing human nature. They're so addicted to the phone, they won't put it in the glove compartment.
I know. Well, at least set it someplace where you can't see it, and don't pick it up while you're driving, all right? Pull over, you're going to do that. All right, thank you, Randy. We appreciate you coming to talk about that this morning here.